Hello and welcome to another Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle. Today I've got a pretty interesting opponent, using an Articuno, Salamence, Mega Metachan, all that good stuff. I mean, I'm trying a load of different Pokemon out today. This team is just randomly put together, because I got a Meloetta who I finally wanted to try out, I got a Gourgeist I wanted to try out, Blastoise, etc, etc. So anyway, let's get on with this battle. So basically my opponent decides to lead off, I believe it's with the Salamence, and I just lead off with Mega Blastoise. Because Mega Blastoise can I'm pretty confident, as long as it's not a grass or electric type, Mega Blastoise can pretty much take anything on one-on-one. I mean, this thing has really good coverage with it when it finally Mega Evolves. Water Pulse, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, can take down some serious threats. So, it stays in, reveals its physical Salamence, goes straight for the Dragon Claw, causes a good chunk of damage, but I go straight for the Dragon Pulse here. And it's instantly a one-hit KO. Max health, max attack, modest nature. I mean, max special attack, sorry. And just takes that thing down straight away. So she goes into the Articuno here, and I don't see many of these things very often. I mean, it's an awesome-looking legendary Pokemon, but battle-wise, I haven't seen it often. So I decide to switch out and go into my specially defensive war, which is my Pretty Boy, aka my Sylveon. And he hits me with a Freeze Dry, so it was a good job I switched out there, because Freeze Dry actually hits water types for super effective damage, if you didn't know. So I recover with my leftovers here. And my opponent decides to go for the Hurricane, but I do manage to avoid the attack, and I do set up the Wish. So after the Wish is set up, I go for the lefties, and pretty much I'm able to go straight for the Hyper Voice here and cause some damage if it wants to switch, or cause some deep damage to this Articuno. So the Hurricane hits and causes a massive amount of damage. I mean, yeah, it's a good stab move to have an Articuno, but that's 70% accuracy. I'm not fond of ill accuracy moves. Don't even put in Pokemon that have pretty much good accuracy with Hurricane as anything with Compound Eyes, or I believe it's Wide Lens, the item that increases accuracy. They're two items I'd recommend if you're going to try and run them kind of moves. I prefer accuracy over damage, but everyone has their own defensive playstyles. Anyway, so I do 2 turns of keep going for the Hyper Voice to try and get as much damage off as I can on this thing, and she eventually decides to switch into a Gengar, which is the good play, because this thing is going to scare me off instantly. I mean, even with the Pixelate boost, this Hyper Voice isn't going to do anything to it. Gengar not exactly being the bulkiest Pokemon, but I'm not sticking around to be hit by a Sludge Bomb, so I decide to switch. But as you'll see here, she decides not to go for the Sludge Bomb and goes for the Hypnosis, but either way I avoid the attack. So she's going to withdraw here, fearing obviously a Thunder Wave, so she has to pick something to come in and get paralysed, and that's going to be her Volcarona, which in turn is going to scare off the my Boo Boo Keys instantly. I ain't sticking around to get hit by a Heat Wave or whatever. I wasn't too bothered about her setting up now, since I do have the Paralyze, so I felt safe enough to go into my Mega Blastoise just for that chance to Paralyze, or the chance she'd set up the Quiver Dances. So she does end up setting up Quiver Dance, so this thing is going to hit like a truck if I don't manage to kill it here and then. So after all those stat increases, I go straight for the Water Pulse to see if it'll kill, and there's about 3/4, and I'm feeling the retaliation of the Buzzbugs, but the it does manage to kick in, and I am able to kill this thing off cleanly, without having to panic or losing my Mega Pokemon instantly. Only problem I've really found with having Mega Blastoise as your Mega, you do lose your team's Rapid Spinner if it goes, so in turn you're losing your Rapid Spinner and your Mega Evolution on the chance you lose this thing. So in comes the Mega Metachan, and I pretty much know what this thing's going to do. It's either going to Fake Out, High Jump Kick, etc. So I'll go into my Gourgeist to take whatever attack this thing's going to throw at me. So after cleanly Mega Evolve, it decides to go straight for the Fake Out, but being a Ghost type, I am not going to be affected by that at all. And so it goes for the Rock Slide here, and I'm thinking, please don't flinch, please don't flinch, please don't flinch. And luckily I don't flinch, and I managed to able to get the Will-O-Wisp off on this thing. I mean, this thing's a nice little set actually. Will-O-Wisp, Phantom Force, Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp, Phantom Force, and I believe Seed Bomb for the coverage as well, just to deal with Rotoms and stuff. She just switch out into the Talonflame, which I completely forgot she had it on this team, and I'm thinking, oh hell, this thing is going to end my life. But I decided to go for the Phantom Force, predicting if she wanted to stay in, to go for the Protect, whatever. So she does manage to set up the sword dance, and that is a scary thing. A Talonflame under a sword dance is something you do not want to mess with at all. So the Phantom Force only does half. I was expecting it to do a lot more than that, so she goes straight for the Flare Blitz, and that is going to kill off Goldgeist easily. So super effective, critical hit. Don't think the crit even mattered. I think I was pretty much dead either way. Was not going to live a hit like that from Talonflame. So I go to Minchino to try and go for the Fake Out, with Fake Out being +3 priority. I felt pretty safe going for it. But of course she makes a smart play and switches out straight into a Gengar, and like I did before for my Goldgeist, the Fake Out's just going to go straight through this thing. Here I think it was a pretty stupid play actually on my part. I could have stayed in and go for the Rock Slide knowing it wasn't the Mega, knowing I outspeed it, and I think Rock Slide would have killed if it hit. But I decided to switch, fearing a Sludge Bomb, and I'm just hit instantly by the Hypnosis, and I am sent to sleep. So for the next couple of turns, Boo Boo Keys here is going to be asleep, and this Gengar actually busts out the Focus Blast. So that's going to hit, and it's going to hurt like hell. But they managed to restore some health, and I'm just praying here for the Wake Up so I can get at least a Thunder Wave off on this thing. A Thunder Wave or a Foul Play. Just something along those lines. So the Shadow Ball hits, I manage to wake up, I go for the Foul Play, and I don't know why I was expecting this to kill. Gengar's attack stat isn't exactly the best. I was just thinking it was really frail, but obviously I underestimated this thing, and here it manages to live. So I go with the Thunder Wave here, just in case it wanted to try to send me asleep again. And I managed to paralyze this thing again, so I am getting really lucky with the paralyze hits today. So we still a little bit of HP thanks to leftovers. I mean, when I've been EV trading, I've been picking up quite a lot of leftovers. In fact, I'm thinking maybe if the channel does pick up a bit, I am going to start giving away items such as leftovers, maybe the few odd Pokemon, etc, etc. So I do manage to kill off that Gengar pretty cleanly. And in comes the Talonflame again. And I'm just thinking, okay, it's time for Boo Boo Keys to die at this point. But she does go for the Roost, which is the smart play, predicting the switch. But I believe I stay in and go for the Thunder Wave here. So with this thing paralysed, it's pretty much shut down, even though it does have that priority. But I know she wouldn't Brave Bird this thing, as it does resist those hits. So I was just felt safe staying in, going for the Foul Play here to see what this would do. So I hit it with the Foul Play, take a good chunk of its health, and it decides to go for the Sword Dance, which kind of seals this thing's fate, because I mean, it could go for the Flare Blitz at the minute. But it does have the priority on the flying move, so I was predicting a Roost, maybe a Brave Bird at this point, but she decides to go for the Roost, and I just hit her up with a Foul Play again. At this point, I think she probably twigged on that it's probably not going to be the best to try and set up any more Sword Dances. Look at that damage. That is a nasty set of work by a piece of Keys. I mean, yeah, people made fun of Klefki when it first came out, saying, oh, it's just a keyring Pokemon, etc, etc, but this thing packs a punch, man. I mean, I think it deserves to be OU. I don't know why it's borderline, but I suppose when you're not running Swag Play, it's not as effective. So go for the Foul Play to finish off this Talonflame. And good night, Talonflame. So I believe she goes into the Medicham here. Yep. And I was expecting Fake Out, Bullet Punch along the line. So she goes for the Bullet Punch, and even with the burn, that is going to kill cleanly. So there goes the Boo Boo Keys, but Boo Boo Keys put in real good work there. Better name for a Klefki, Boo Boo Keys, and this really good Pokemon. I really enjoyed using Klefki at the time I used it. So I go straight into Sylveon. This thing's burnt. It's not going to hurt. But look at the damage it causes here. That is a good chunk of damage considering it's burnt. And of course I get flinched. Wasn't expecting that. I thought pure power cancelled the chances of the secondary effect happening, but powered you up instead, but obviously I was wrong there. So it goes for the Rock Slide again, hoping for the flinch. Takes me down to just under half health with that critical hit, but goes for the Hyper Voice, and that thing is going to die. So down goes the Mega. Thankfully I got the burn on that really early in the game, or that thing could have been a huge threat to my team. Mega Medicham is not to be underestimated by any means, shape or form. So finally she goes into the Articuno here. Puts pressure on the battlefield, but Sylveon doesn't care about that. This can take hits for this thing for days. So then I go for the Hyper Voice and seal me this game, I believe. I believe that's her final Pokemon. Yep, that is. So, really good game. If you, for some reason you're watching this, Paytel, something pronounced like that. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you like, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, comment, etc, etc. I'm hoping to get more of these battles up often as I can, but with the work schedule and all, being on shift work and all, it is really hard to get these uploaded at a common rate. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this battle, guys, and have a nice day, and thank you for watching my video. Peace out.